Hi, welcome to my blended learning unit. I decided to do my unit on area for 6th grade because I taught that in my student teaching and I thought that I could have done it a lot better if I used flip learning. So I thought this was a good opportunity to explore that a little more. So here's my Google Classroom, and I would post the link for the site every week. Here are math assignments for the week. So if I click on that, it'll take us to my Google site. So this would be our math site, and maybe instead of assignments here, it would say the date of the week or something like that, and they would know assignment 1's 2 and 3 or 4. Assignment 1 is for Monday, assignment 2 is for Tuesday, and assignment 3 is for Wednesday, etc. So if we look at assignment 1, I would have them before class, as the flipped portion, watch this Khan Academy video. And this is about area of a triangle. It's about why the formula works, and I have it so I can't skip. But basically it says, the reasoning behind why area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, and they'll already know that base times height is the area of a rectangle before this. And I decided to have the Khan Academy video of this because I've explained it to students before and they haven't really understood. Some of them get it, some of them think a little differently. So I thought having his perspective and mine on this, or even just having a second person explain it, might help out the kids that, think a little differently. So then when they got to class, they would watch the video that I made, which also shows me explaining how to do, area of a triangle, why that formula works. And then I go through with them different equations, with the different examples. I show them how to do it when they give you base times height, and then I also show them how to do it when they give you the area and expect you to find the height using algebraic equations and inverse operations and all of that jazz. And then in class, they will complete a worksheet after doing this that I can collect for hard evidence of whether they get it or not. So I can look at their work and see where they went wrong or what they need help with. So assignment 2 for Tuesday would be extremely similar. They would watch this Khan Academy video explaining area of a trapezoid, and I thought this one was really good because I have never seen it explained how he explains it. So that's definitely a different perspective. So he goes through, how to explain it, and there are questions, what does over 2 mean? Why does he divide by 2? How do you think this problem is going to be solved? What do you think the answer to this is? So get them to solve it this way. And, what have you learned based on this video? Just giving them an idea of, why all of that works. And then in class, they would watch a video that I made based on area of a trapezoid. So I would, again, explain to them why my reasoning behind it. So triangle is split in half this way, and it's 1/2. But a trapezoid, you can split it in half this way. It's still 1/2, but now you have base 1 and base 2. And then I go through examples with them. Again, I'll do an example of this one sideways because I know they'll see that on their tests. Examples where they're given the bases and the height, and then also examples where they're given the area and need to find the height. And again, they'll have a worksheet to do after this that I can collect. So I can really look at, where they went wrong or what they need help with. Then assignment 3 is a little different. This is all before class. So they would watch this that I made explaining how to do composite figures. Basically just saying, if you have a rectangle and a triangle that make up a shape, you need to find the area of the rectangle, then the triangle, and then add them together. And I give them a couple different examples of how to solve these problems. And then after that, they will come back and they will do this Google form, which is just one problem, and it is a shape that I designed. And this way, I'm not imposing onto them how I would solve it, so they could do, 2 trapezoids and a rectangle. They could do 3 triangles and a rectangle. They could do a trapezoid, a rectangle, and a triangle. a bunch of different things, and they'll just put their answer that they get in there. So, so yeah. And then that would be our 3, flipped activities. The next day they would use an app called Draft Paper, and I have it on my iPad. And basically, they can draw lines, and it'll show them how long they are, and they can create their own composite figures. And they're going to do this in the form of a floor plan for a house. They'll do this in probably groups of 3. And here's an example that I did. So they'll do at least 6 rooms. They'll use each shape at least twice, and they'll calculate the area of each. So they'll, write for me, bathroom equals this amount, hallway equals, this inches squared. And then they will add all of these things together and give me the floor plan of their 1-story house. I liked this idea because I thought that it helped them be creative and, think about math a little differently. Maybe, something that they might use one day. A lot of kids think, when am I ever going to use the area of a trapezoid formula in my real life? Well, this might show them, something that they might actually use. So, yeah, so that is my blended learning unit. I will have them post their final floor plans to the Google Classroom when they're done with them, so they can share them, and I can check their math, and we can see how well they did and what we need to go over before we move on. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I hope you like it, and I hope you have a good summer. Thanks.